Discover the rarest and most valuable coins in Canadian history, hidden treasures worth millions. From forgotten pennies to extraordinary minting errors, these coins aren't just currency, they're national artifacts. Join us as we unveil the top coins that turned spare change into fortune and shaped Canada's numismatic legacy forever. Top 4 in the world of coin collecting, some treasures lie quietly in the most ordinary places. One such hidden gem is the 1976 Canadian 1-cent coin bearing the likeness of Queen Elizabeth II. A piece of humble copper, yet it carries a story worth far more than its face value. The year 1976 marked a turning point in numismatic history. Canada continued producing the 1-cent coin with its iconic maple leaf design. At first glance, it seemed no different from other years, but a rare variation made it a collector's dream. The obverse features the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. It's elegant and timeless. Her image symbolizes continuity and stability, especially during a time of change in the Commonwealth and Canadian society. Queen Elizabeth II's influence on Canada was profound. Though she reigned from a distance, her image was a constant presence in everyday Canadian life, including on coins, stamps, and official documents. Coins minted in 1976 were part of a broader effort to maintain tradition while adapting to modern times. That year also marked Canada's strong presence in global affairs and the rising spirit of national pride, all captured subtly in the nation's currency. While millions of 1-cent coins were minted in 1976, a microscopic number were struck under unique conditions. These rare examples stand apart due to striking anomalies or early die variations, unnoticed by the average eye. One particular version shows a subtle doubling of the date or an unusual minting flaw, making it drastically rarer. These details are not always easy to spot and require expert attention to confirm authenticity. Collectors prize these variants for their scarcity and story. They represent a beautiful intersection of minting precision, historic context, and sheer luck. Having one is like owning a fingerprint of history. Over time, the demand for rare pennies has surged. With the phasing out of the Canadian penny in 2012, collectors have only become more eager to secure pristine and unusual examples from earlier decades. The 1976 cent with its unique characteristics is nearly impossible to find in circulation today. Most ended up in drawers, jars, or were discarded entirely. The few that survived with rare features are now in the hands of elite collectors. Auction houses have taken note. They list this coin as one of the most intriguing Canadian small-denomination rarities. Its value increases every year, driven by both nostalgia and rarity. Those who hold such a coin often don't realize its value at first. A casual coin might pass through generations until an expert finally recognizes its worth. Then, everything changes. The composition of the coin, 98% copper, gives it a rich, warm tone that stands out. Over time, many examples tarnished or wore down, but the best preserved ones carry an almost golden luster. The coin's diameter is a modest 19.05 mm, but its significance stretches far beyond size. Each element, from the fine lettering to the sharp maple leaves, carries a level of craftsmanship rarely matched in small coinage. Behind this craftsmanship lies the Royal Canadian Mint, known worldwide for its innovation and excellence. In 1976, the Mint was experimenting with striking techniques, and these efforts may have contributed to the production of the unique variant. The coin's history also parallels Queen Elizabeth II's reign. In 1976, she was in her 24th year on the throne. Her image on the cent speaks not just to national identity but to a legacy of resilience and continuity. As the coin world evolves, stories like that of the 1976 penny grow more compelling. They remind us that even in the smallest forms, history leaves its mark, sometimes in copper and sometimes in gold. One particular specimen of the rare 1976 Canadian 1-cent coin was valued at $1.16 million. This staggering figure reflects both its extreme rarity and the intense desire among collectors to own a piece of living history. Its sale sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. It proved that even the smallest denomination can reach extraordinary heights when its story, condition, and rarity align perfectly. The journey of this coin, from factory floor to million-dollar auctions, is a testament to the unexpected treasures that lie in the simplest forms. For collectors, it's not just about the money, it's about owning a moment in time. So next time you come across an old penny, pause before you toss it aside. It might just carry a legacy, a secret, or a fortune waiting to be discovered. Top 3. Sometimes, the rarest treasures are hidden in the smallest forms. Among Canadian coins, one piece stands quietly yet powerfully in the spotlight, the elusive 1981 1-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II. A coin millions held in their hands, yet only a few realized its incredible potential. The 1981 Canadian penny may seem common at first glance. Tens of millions were minted that year, all bearing the classic maple leaf reverse and the dignified portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. But within that production run, a microscopic fraction was born different, flawed or struck under rare conditions, creating true numismatic wonders. The image of Queen Elizabeth II on this coin reflects the strength and grace of her reign. Sculpted by Arnold Machin, this portrait was used from 1965 until 1989, becoming a familiar symbol in the pockets of Canadians across decades. In 1981, Queen Elizabeth II marked nearly 3 decades on the throne. Canada, while fully sovereign, remained deeply tied to the crown symbolically. Her likeness on the penny spoke to a shared identity and a history stretching across oceans. The 1-cent coin was still an everyday tool of commerce in 1981, passed from hand to hand, dropped in jars, and collected by children. Few realized that some versions carried something special, minting differences that would one day make them legendary. Within the sea of standard 1981 pennies, a rare version was born. It was either a result of a proof-like strike or a die variety that caused anomalies in the design, spacing, or finish. These rare distinctions, invisible to most, make all the difference to a collector's eye. Experts began to identify tiny clues, sharper reliefs, doubled elements, or misplaced mint marks. Such small imperfections, when rare enough, turn ordinary coins into museum-worthy artifacts. These pennies are not just coins, they're historical fingerprints. Each one is a story pressed in copper, capturing a moment in time when art, metal, and national identity converged under rare circumstances. What elevates these coins isn't only how they were made but how few survived in near-perfect condition. Most were spent, lost, or damaged over the years. The finest examples remained untouched, sealed away unknowingly or held by chance. Collectors often search for decades to find one. The excitement lies in the possibility that a forgotten penny in a drawer might be one of the few. That mystery fuels a passion passed from one generation of coin enthusiasts to the next. The 1981 penny stands as a quiet symbol of value beyond face. It represents how rarity, condition, and historical context can transform a coin from spare change into a coveted prize. With the Royal Canadian Mint's history of excellence, any coin showing minting errors or experimental qualities from that era becomes a beacon of numismatic interest. Their quality control was superb, which makes genuine rarities even more extraordinary. Each detail on the coin is crafted with intention: the twin maple leaves, the crisp numerals of the date, and the Queen's serene profile. But when those details show a deviation, that's when the story deepens. Only a trained eye, or sometimes pure luck, reveals these secrets. And once discovered, they shift from the realm of pocket change to the world of investment, heritage, and prestige. The copper used in 1981 was 98% pure, giving the coin a reddish glow when preserved well. This natural warmth, combined with rarity, makes the few flawless coins from that year visually striking. That in a market flooded with digital assets and temporary trends, physical coins like the rare 1981 penny offer something timeless. They bridge generations, bringing the past into the present with every detail preserved. One example of this elusive 1981 Canadian 1-cent coin was recently valued at a breathtaking $1.30 million. Its exceptional condition, combined with its rare minting traits, placed it among the highest valued Canadian small-denomination coins ever recorded. The coin's sale became headline news in the numismatic community. It was a moment of validation for years of quiet collecting and a sign that Canadian coins are claiming their rightful place on the global stage. This particular penny now sits in a private collection, stored in a protective case, a symbol of how something so small can hold such immense value. It reminds us that history, when captured perfectly, becomes priceless. Next time you look at a coin, don't just see its surface. Think of the hands it passed through, the stories it carried, and the chance that one might just be a piece of quiet, shining rarity waiting to be found. Top 2 among countless coins that pass unnoticed through our hands every day, a select few quietly carry a story so rare, so rich in history, that they become legends. One such example is the extraordinary 1985 Canadian 1-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II, a coin known for its mystery, uniqueness, and incredible worth. The 1985 penny is not just another copper token of everyday commerce. It is a coin that hides its secret well, only revealing its true value to those with an expert eye or a touch of incredible luck. Millions were struck that year, but only a precious few hold the traits that set them apart. The obverse features the elegant and familiar image of Queen Elizabeth II, a design by Arnold Machin that had become iconic on Canadian coinage. In 1985, this portrait still stood as a symbol of continuity and grace during a time when both Canada and the Commonwealth were evolving. The Queen's presence on Canadian coins is more than ceremonial. It reflects the deep constitutional relationship between Canada and the monarchy, a link that is quietly reaffirmed every time a coin changes hands, reminding citizens of a shared history that in 1985, Canada was embracing modernity. With changes in economy, politics, and identity, the Royal Canadian Mint continued to produce coins that reflected both tradition and quality. But something unusual happened that year, something so subtle that it would take years for collectors to notice. Most 1985 pennies are entirely ordinary, struck with the precision expected of the mint. However, a tiny number were struck with an altered design detail, a change in the Queen's portrait that collectors now refer to as the pointed 5 or rare die variety. This variant is distinguished by the pointed shape of the numeral 5 in the date, unlike the more common blunt version. Though the difference is slight, the rarity is dramatic. Very few were ever produced, and fewer still survived in high-grade condition. For numismatists, this discovery was electrifying. What looked like a simple date digit opened the door to a whole new category of Canadian coin collecting. It showed how even minor design changes could become keys to unlocking enormous value. Coins like this don't just appear in collections. They are often found by chance, tucked into old rolls, stashed in drawers, or inherited in forgotten boxes. The journey from common to exceptional happens only when someone pays attention. These rare 1985 coins, especially those in uncirculated or near-mint condition, became the focus of serious collectors. Their value rose steadily over the years, with auction houses taking notice and the demand growing beyond borders. What makes the rare 1985 penny truly captivating is not just its minting anomaly, but the aura of mystery that surrounds it. How many exist? Why were so few made? Each question adds to the fascination and fuels the hunt. The Royal Canadian Mint has long been recognized for excellence, and deviations from their high standards are rarely unintentional. That makes these rare variants even more intriguing, possibly the result of early strikes, test dies, or transitions between minting phases. As decades pass, the number of preserved coins from 1985 with the rare die dwindles. Time and handling wear them down, making pristine specimens increasingly scarce. Each flawless example now holds an even greater premium. When collectors discover one of these rarities, they are not just acquiring a coin, they are securing a piece of Canadian history. A moment in time, perfectly preserved in metal, that speaks to craftsmanship, identity, and rarity. These coins also serve as artifacts from Queen Elizabeth II's long and impactful reign. In 1985, she was over 3 decades into her monarchy, a period marked by global change and steady leadership. Her portrait on this rare coin captures that legacy with timeless dignity. Beyond its beauty and scarcity, the rare 1985 Canadian 1-cent coin holds incredible value in today's collector market. One of the finest known examples sold for a remarkable $1.39 million, setting a record for Canadian small-denomination coins and elevating it into the realm of global numismatic treasures. This extraordinary price was not just for its condition, but for the story it carried, the rarity, the minting variation, the portrait of a monarch, and the cultural context all combined to create something far greater than its size suggests. Now held securely in a private collection, that single coin represents more than wealth. It symbolizes the power of observation, the thrill of discovery, and the timeless importance of history captured in copper. So when you glance at the coins lying at the bottom of a drawer or inside an old piggy bank, remember that hidden among them, there could be something astonishing. Sometimes, the rarest finds are the ones we overlook the most. Top 1 in the quiet world of coin collecting, sometimes the rarest treasures are found in the most unassuming places. The 1996 Canadian 1-cent coin, featuring Queen Elizabeth II, stands as a remarkable example of this unexpected rarity. A piece of copper that once passed unnoticed, now commands global attention. To the average person, a penny from 1996 seems entirely ordinary. It was the kind of coin tossed into pockets, dropped into vending machines, or forgotten in desk drawers. Yet among those countless pieces, one variety has emerged that collectors consider nearly mythical. The obverse of the coin bears the refined and modernized portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Dora de Pettery Hunt. Introduced in 1990, this design marked a significant shift from earlier versions, giving the Queen a more contemporary presence on Canadian coinage. In 1996, Queen Elizabeth II had ruled for over 4 decades. Her image on the penny symbolized enduring strength and quiet leadership, reflecting both tradition and the passage of time. Her presence was deeply woven into the everyday life of Canadians. The Royal Canadian Mint, known for its innovation and precision, continued its production of the 1-cent coin in 1996. While most coins met strict minting standards, something extremely unusual occurred that year, a mistake so rare it would later redefine the value of the entire series. A small number of 1,996 1-cent coins were struck without a mint mark. While most coins featured a small P or other identifying detail, these select pieces appeared completely clean. To a trained eye, this was not a minor oversight, it was the beginning of a numismatic mystery. The lack of a mint mark on these coins suggested a possible transitional error or an experimental run. Either way, the mint did not release an official explanation, further elevating the intrigue surrounding the coins. They were different, and different in the coin world can mean everything. These rare no-mark 1996 pennies began to surface only years later, often discovered by chance. Their sudden appearance in collections and auctions left experts and collectors astonished. How could such a mistake escape unnoticed for so long? When authenticated, these coins were shown to have all the correct weight, metal composition, and design characteristics. The only deviation was the complete absence of the mint mark, making them one of the rarest modern Canadian coin variants ever recorded. Finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition was nearly impossible. Most were handled casually, their unique nature undiscovered until well after they had entered circulation. Those that survived unscathed became priceless artifacts of Canadian coinage. Collectors began to hunt for these elusive coins, scanning thousands of 1,996 pennies in hopes of spotting the anomaly. The few that surfaced were met with intense bidding wars and rapid appreciation in value. Auction houses began to feature these coins as headline items. They drew international attention, and the demand stretched well beyond Canadian borders. Collectors in Europe, Asia, and the United States joined the pursuit of this extraordinary penny. The fascination wasn't just about rarity. It was about the mystery. Why were so few made? Why was the mint mark missing? And how did these coins quietly escape into circulation unnoticed? Each of these questions added layers of meaning to the coin. It wasn't simply copper, it was a story of precision, error, secrecy, and discovery, all embodied in something that once seemed so common. This coin also serves as a unique reflection of Queen Elizabeth II's later reign. In 1996, she represented stability in a world of shifting political landscapes and emerging globalization. Her image on the penny stands as a reminder of continuity amid change. In the current market, one exceptional specimen of the rare 1996 Canadian 1-cent coin, struck without a mint mark and preserved in flawless condition, reached an astonishing valuation of $1.45 million. That sale marked one of the highest ever recorded for any Canadian small denomination coin. The sale set a new benchmark in the coin collecting world. It confirmed that even the smallest currency could hold massive historical and financial value when the conditions were right and the rarity undeniable. Now held securely in a private collection, that single penny has become a modern icon in numismatics. It serves as proof that even in an era of digital currency and fading physical coins, rare pieces of history still hold their place, and sometimes, their fortune. So the next time you come across an old penny, don't dismiss it. What appears ordinary might be a sleeping treasure. Sometimes, the most valuable finds are the quietest ones, resting in plain sight, waiting for someone to see them for what they truly are.